What's up, guys? I got something super fun for you today. It's some disconnection. It's gonna be awesome and rad. So basically, stay tuned. Let's get right into it. So we're gonna be doing something not so traditional today. It is honestly, it's something, if you're looking to take a very classic look and you wanna remix it, this is gonna be some really cool ideas and just an amazing technique to follow around. So first off, let's go ahead and show how we're going to part the hair. Now, what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be parting from the top half and the bottom half. And we're only really gonna be going with two different sections through here. So the bottom section, I'm gonna part off right now. Let's go ahead and do that. All right, so after making your initial first parting between the top half and the bottom half, right through here, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be creating some disconnection first. Now, this disconnection is going to consist of us layering it pretty heavy underneath, right? We're not going to worry about the length just yet, because as we start to kind of bring this out, it's going to bring this length up, and then we're going to find that line later on. But first off, we're going to essentially layer this pretty heavy through here. So let's go ahead and start that right now. I'm gonna be taking sections. I'll take from the vertical section in the back right through here. I'll take this out horizontally 90 degrees like so, and then we're gonna cut that off. You could do this with a razor, a texturizing scissor. I'm gonna be using it with a blunt scissor. So as you guys can see, I just want to show you guys, you can kind of see how this angle basically is just like this. You know, you've got the same amount of length from the top portion to the bottom portion, because I don't want to tilt it like this. I don't want to tilt it like that. I just wanted it straight out just like that. And then, as you can see, I want to have you pan over through here. And as I took these sections right through here, I took the next section into this section, next section into this section, next section into this section. And you can start to see to where that top layer gets progressively just a little bit longer through there. So really, this is kind of how you take the back portion, and I went all the way to the back of the ears, like right through here. Now these sides are gonna be a little bit different. So let's go ahead and do that now. So at this point, you can see how I cut the sides. Now, first off, I took my sections going diagonally forward through here to kind of line up as I kind of brought those up from my longest section right behind the back of the ear. Then I cross-checked and I took it diagonally back up into here to kind of to shape and to keep that line going through there. So keep in mind, when you are doing the sides, go diagonally forward until you run out of hair, and then go diagonally back to cross-check, okay? So at this point, I'm going to dry the underneath. I'm gonna still work on the bottom, then we'll take the top out and we'll do the top. So let's go ahead and dry the underneath. So after you get the bottom dry, one of the things you want to keep in mind is that you want to dry it pretty flat to the head. And I used a Mason Pearson style brush you saw me use. You could use a comb to get this really, really flat. I wanted to get just a really nice finish to the hair, like not a lot of volume, super, super flat. So, because again, when we take this top out, it is going to be disconnected. It's not going to connect. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go and I'm actually going to really give it a nice line along the bottom. Then from there, we'll go through and we'll do a lot more detail work on the inside here. So let's go ahead and create that line along the bottom. Right through this area, I had went through and I had kind of broken up a lot more of this right through here because it was really bulky up to the top and I wanted to air it out. And what that's gonna do is that's just gonna lightly make that lay a little bit smoother, not being so bulky, right? Kind of like through that like dog ear-ish area, right through that area. So removing a little bit of that bulk. Now you can see over here on this side, I have not quite done that. It kind of bevels out a little bit more right through this area. So I'm gonna go through and do exactly what I did over here on this side, over here on this side. Now all you do, you wanna elevate this hair straight up like so. Now when I go to point cut into this, I'm gonna point cut into it rather far. Now I'm really just kind of softening up that whole line and you can see through that. What that's gonna do is that's gonna make it to where as that hair starts to gather at that top layer cut point, it'll soften that up and make it to where it does not look as heavy. Now, as you can see that through there, it's not as bulky through that top area. Now I'm just removing some of that length along the bottom, make sure we're even here. Now from this point, we're gonna go ahead and take the top down. Now from here, what I wanna do is I wanna dry the hair because when I'm cutting disconnection, a lot of times I really wanna see it how it looks when it's dry, how it's laying, how see-through it looks, whatnot. So let's go ahead and dry it right now. All right guys, so at this point, when you're starting to dry, you've got the top portion that is hanging over the undercut bottom portion. Now, as you can kind of start to see this, as I take this out and I hold this out like this, you're gonna see that shape right here underneath, just like that. Now, if I drop that over, you're gonna see how that disconnection hangs over. Now, of course, you could leave it extremely disconnected. Again, like this is all personal preference. I personally am not. And you can start to see how see-through it is on certain portions. Like right through this area, it's fairly see-through. Right in the back, it's kind of like see-through. I mean, the front, I mean, everything's really pretty much see-through, but I mean, the disconnection has a lot more strength through here than it does right through on this side. How the top is going to be layered is I really want to be a lot more layered on the top, and I want to kind of carve up to kind of keep a little bit more length, but I want this length to hit about right through here. So I'm gonna go through and layer pretty heavy. So if you think about it, this top portion is gonna go from like short to long, and then down through here goes short right through there. So as this length starts to hang around this specific area, you've got a lot more interesting texture happening within this haircut. So let's go ahead and do that right now. Okay guys, so just to show you how I did the top really quick. So this right up here on the top of the crown, now this was cut fairly blunt right through here, right? So right where this guide starts, straight out from the head, then if you were to take this mohawk section right through here, now I'm gonna show you how that's cut, and then you can see how it kind of like increases like this. And then I took that very last section and then I basically just cut it like this to extend all of that length throughout the top. Then this back portion right through here is basically cut from, so where you have this section right through there, then as this is cut, you're leaving basically a little bit more length through that portion right through here. Let's take a little tour of how this looks just layered. So where you're looking at from right now, you can start to see to where you've got still this disconnection right through the front. Now you can start to see how some of this length through here really still kind of hangs over just a little bit. Now, depending on how you go through and you know, if you were gonna bring this up through here, like this all really comes down to personal preference. I'm probably going to cut it just a little bit longer right through there, and then I'm going to detail some of that length in front. So let's kind of have you cruise around this way, and you can kind of see how it hangs. You know, again, this is basically a really cool bob disconnection. Now, the cool thing about where the layers are at right now is that the layers give it kind of like that rock star look a little bit through here. So you can create this cool volume throughout this area. And if you cut this all blunt along the bottom, you're gonna have those like short to long, and then it's going to be that short disconnected underneath. So let's just go ahead and personalize this for, what's her name, Cassie? Yeah, Cassie. I guess she works at Paul Mitchell, whatever, man. So if she's a hairdresser, we're gonna make this so it's for a hairdresser, because hairdressers are rock stars with longevity, right? But if you have clients that wanna be sassy, this would be awesome for them as well. I hope you guys have enjoyed what we are doing today. If you guys have, go ahead and like this video. Go ahead and share it. You know, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe, guys. I really hope you guys enjoy what I do. If you do, shout me out, let me know. I appreciate it, guys.